exhausted.
Oh, totally. Yeah, there's definitely a good deal of things that I would totally redo about that stage. You know? Like, I didn't have the thick skin that I do now at that time.
Gotcha.
So there's definitely a fair amount of things to like get under your skin about, you know, and it's not all roses.
That's crazy though that even though you didn't work there, it almost felt like you did because things were.
Yeah. Oh, they give you a tremendous amount of responsibility for a stagiaire. At one point, myself and another stage were cooking the king crab.
Yeah.
During service, you know, you steam it. Each part of it, you know, is a little bit longer. You steam it in the combination oven, and then you pick it down and portion it. And there's this shape that they liked, and then you have some like U-line containers on a bain-marie, and then you shuttle those down into the service kitchen, and then you sprint back upstairs. Like, so they do a great job of making you feel like you
work there,
like you're a part of the team, and you're not just
picking herbs,
face in the wall, picking herbs, stuff like that. But of course, like with that comes, you know, you take on the pressure as well.
Exactly.
And yeah,
gotcha.
Some people handle it better than others. There were chefs more experienced than I at the time. Yeah. Chefs even less experienced than I at the time. But you know, there were 35 of us at like its most, if I remember correctly, 35 stagiaires. Mm-hmm. So you have your days where nobody says a word to you at all. So it was a nice balance.
Yeah. Okay. And as you're coming to the end of this time, are you trying to work there?
I thought maybe that I wanted to. I thought maybe like, and then that sort of turned into like, I'm not going to accept a job offer, but I would like one. And then that was just like, by the end of it, I wanted to come. I knew Copenhagen would always be there, and I could always go back and visit or stage somewhere else again. But I wanted to take this sort of new way of working that I had picked up and just bring it back to New York.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay. So you come back to New York, and I'm sure when you show up, they'll be like, "Oh, the Noma guy's here." Yeah, you get a fair amount of shit. A lot of the fucking like cooks, The best way to avoid that is to not flab your gib so exactly.
much. Just,
I was just at Noma for 3 months. You know how many fucking times I hear that?
Yeah, I know. No, exactly.
It's just like, absolutely. Okay, you didn't work there, though. So what
you didn't work there. Yeah. It's like, oh, you went on... You see like a resume, and it's just like, Mugarit stage, this stage, this stage, this stage. It's like, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the same.
Not the same as working there, for sure. So you get back here, and what's your first move?
My first move was to chill all the way out, just like for a little bit. It was November, so you know, holiday season was starting. But I saw an ad on Instagram that there was a restaurant in Brooklyn that I was greatly interested in that had opened while I was in Copenhagen.
Yeah,
but I was aware of the first iteration of this restaurant as well. That one had just wrapped up when I had moved back around like Luxus time. To Brooklyn, and I saw a post on Instagram that Osco was hiring and looking for like a CDP, or it was one or two positions at the time. And I some people that I worked with at Rebel, were a part of the opening team, and my head chef from when I was a sous chef at Colony was working on another project with Frederick, and so it was a nice, easy foot in the door with all these connections, you know. And then I staged a week, trained a week, and I worked there for the next 5 years.
Fucking 5 years, okay.
Yeah.
So
then it's like 22, and now I'm 27, and it's like, I feel like Rip Van Winkle or something.
Yeah.
I just had a nice long... Only I can't grow the facial hair like you could.
Oh, it's all good. You don't need facial hair. During this time, what was your tenure there like? Where'd you start?
So the stations were sort of just like 1, 2, 3, 4. There was no point in calling anything garde-manger, entremetier, anything like that, because it just wasn't what we were cooking. Station 1 was like snacks, but they weren't all necessarily at the beginning. 2 and 3 handled like the sort of torso of the menu. 3 was close to a roast, but at the time and occasionally later would pick up like a poached oyster dish on the menu.
Yeah.
And then 4 was kind of like pastry, but again would pick up a savory thing here or there, or the beautiful composed sort of salad with all these foraged herbs and things like that. So it just like bopped around all throughout. Incredibly fun services to work. You're responsible for your deal during mise en place because the structure needs to be there. But then, as you know, a tasting menu just sort of works its way through the kitchen. It's sort of just all hands on, and everyone's cross-trained, sort of, kind of, pretty well. Everyone knows how to plate everything. Chefs walked all the food. There was always a tableside element. So everything was spilled, tableside sauce, tableside. You had to know, like 6 o'clock, how to present yourself to the guests in a refined way that still allowed you to be an individual. It was it's absolutely that restaurant that ruins restaurants for you, because there's so many, and in the best way, because there's so many things that you learn about service, and the food is so fucking cool, and
fucking hell yeah.
No, I know. I'm very, very familiar.
Yeah. Well, the way you talk about it is so like, damn, I want to work there. You know what I mean? It's like,
go stars, dude. When do you fly out? When do you drive out of here? You're still driving everywhere, aren't you?
I'm still driving.
Wow.
And I'm focusing on the podcast Camaro.
Fun. Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
so
cool.
I'm like,
you can't drive. A guy like you can't drive a Prius.
No. I stopped, dude. So when I got the job at Charter Oak, I had a 1992 Mercedes-Benz C220. Like, not anything nice. This thing had a 6 tape changer in it. Like,
I don't know what that means. I don't know a lot about cars, but it's like
it was a shitty car.
Yeah.
Okay. And I get the job as chef of Charter Oak, and I'm like, just like, Chef Costa was always about how you represent yourself and how you're representing yourself to your staff, and you need to be a leader in all forms of life. So I was just like, I'm not going to go through life driving these cars that I don't want to drive anymore.
There you go.
And, and I actually went and put my big boy pants on and walked to the fucking dealership, and I was like, I want a fucking sick car.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to.
Cool.
I don't want to get any regular shit. No fucking Toyota Corolla, whatever. I want like. And then I walk outside, or we walk actually across the street to the other Chevy dealership, and the car that I have now is just sitting out there, ready for a road or a fucking test drive. Already.
Whoa.
Right? Somebody was going to come test drive it.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I test drive that thing?
Yeah.
And he's
that's
like,
fate.
oh, let me check. And he goes in there and checks it out, and it's like the car literally had everything that I get for a car when I get a car: sound system, tinted windows.
Yeah.
It had 20-inch rims. I was just like, it was lowered. It had race suspension. I was like, damn, this is legit.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking driving around, and the guy, Ray, he's like, can you slow down a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, this is awesome.
Getting so excited.
And then I go back and I'm
so
like,
sick.
I'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
Like, and then when the option came up to, well, I made an option for myself, like, well, you either go back to fucking California or you do this road trip and fucking take this podcast to the next level.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's fucking do that.
Cool.
And I was like, how cool that I, get to drive across the states in a fucking Camaro.
That's so
like,
cool.
not very comfortable all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
Well,
you're driving fucking 8 hours a day, what are you going to do?
yeah, that's probably the best thing that's ever happened to you that was born out of someone no-call, no-showing.
Exactly.
Someone was going to test drive that car. They'd probably be having just the amount of fun you
Exactly.
are right now.
And I just love that whenever I see my car, I'm like excited to see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, how are you?
You like unlock the car and then you look around like, is anyone watching me?
Yeah.
Do you know that this is my car?
This is my car.
This is my car.
The best part about it is little kids going like, cool car, man.
Yeah.
Like, that feels so good. And
That's
you're like,
sweet.
man, like, you can do this too, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can have this if you want,
Yeah.
And just creating that sort of inspiration And you know how it is, man. Like when you're coming up and you see these chefs and they're getting off their motorcycle and you're like, man, like fucking who is that guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I feel like a chef, just like you said, actors, I feel like it's the same shit. Like it's a performance, right?
Yeah.
You're putting on this show for the guests with the food and things like that. And I think that that for me also extends outside of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be always the same person.
Totally.
Chef always.
Yeah,
you know?
chef always.
So that's why I fucking did that. Fuck yeah.
There's a T-shirt there somewhere.
Exactly.
Chef always.
Exactly. Chef always. Like no matter what.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can manifest itself in different ways. Like if I go to a coffee shop and I'm not getting my coffee quick enough, and I'm seeing it's not because they're busy. It's just because they're like kind of moving slow, and I'm like, hey, come on, buddy, let's go. You know what I mean? Like I've roasted a few people like that. Mm-hmm. But don't need to be doing that.
A bit of compartmentalization is a good thing.
Yeah, but it's always like, how can I do this better, and how can I consolidate this? And you know what? Through my drive across America, I've actually shed a lot of clothing because I had literally everything I own with me. Mm-hmm. And there's some shit that it doesn't like fit me well anymore, but I still have it because it's like my only nice shirt.
This shirt doesn't really fit me very well anymore.
It's the same
this
thing.
Shirt I think I got in like 2012 or something.
Every single chef has that flannel that they've used to go out to dinner countless times because it's the only nice shirt they have. Yeah. And like I used it to go to Leadberry. Like I have all this
sick.
And I finally just like put it in a bag, gave it to a homeless man. Yeah. And I'm like, please take this away.
The good time wasn't because of the shirt.
Exactly. I'm like, I need to put this away because literally every picture of me is with this fucking
one shirt. Yeah, people are gonna think I have like a crush. This is my...
Or I'm like Batman, I just have 6 red flannel shirts that I wear. It's like the same uniform.
This is my social shirt.
So, where were we? Restaurant. You become sous chef there?
Yes. Yeah. So, X amount of time later, it's all a blur. Eventually become a sous chef.
Yeah. Are you managing cooks that you came up with?
Yeah,
same sort
but it was kind of a good way for that to go. The opening CDC had left, and then like 3 of us were promoted to like a sous chef team. Okay, that sort of like ran it together. Okay, rather than just like this like and then jockeying power struggle bullshit. I hear you. So then did that until in December 2019. Mm-hmm. Had left the restaurant, and Kip and I moved up to Vermont because I met Kip at Oscar. Okay, Kip and I met in the kitchen at Oscar, and that's absolutely, for all the amazing experiences and opportunities I had there, that's number one. Because that's sick. Yeah, meeting in the kitchen, that's cool. Yeah, 100%. Like falling in love in like a like in the kitchen of like a 2-Michelin out real quick. No, we did not do that. I'm very adamant that we were professional the entire time. Wink. Yeah. And then, so we had moved to Vermont, to Burlington, Vermont. Okay. In December of 2019, it was something that I had always wanted to do. Yeah. So, like I said, my dad is from Vermont, and had spent many holidays and just trips over the years going up to Vermont. Beautiful state, and I'd wanted to just live up there for a very long time, and so we did that. And I mean sort of kind of wasn't like, and then the world ended a few months later. Exactly. So then we both moved up there and like lost our jobs soon after. Kip got hers back, but I did not. Yeah. So then just like kind of hanging around in Vermont. And
how long into pandemic did you make the move back?
We moved back August of last year. Okay. So things started to like look up or whatever. Yeah. And then we almost moved to Charleston. We both had jobs lined up in Charleston.
Where at?
I was at Kip. I don't recall where Kip was going to work. I got an offer at Fig. Mike Latta. Yeah. Jason Stanhope. Incredible restaurant. blew that whole city up.
They really did.
Like, ages ago.
Yeah.